What is the foundation of morality in Hinduism? What is the foundation? How do you distinguish what is good, what is bad? Very interesting. Now, some religions are kind of fixated on the scripture. They say, in our scripture it said, oh, you do this, this is good. If you don't do this, it's bad. The Hindu tradition is very open. It's not fixated on the scriptures. That the Hindus call that, if you like, the idolatry of the worst kind, fixated on the scriptures. You see, this is the problem. You see a lot of religions saying, oh, in this particular in chapter and verse in my scripture, it says this, do this, don't do this, and that's it, fixed. In a way, it tells you you can't think for yourself. Everything is written up for you. You have to follow the prescription, that's it. In a way that goes against the grain of human evolution. That means you can't evolve. When the context changes, the way you turn religion into practice must also reflect the changing context, the world that you live in, and adapt itself to it, rather than say, no, it's fixated. And Darwin is something very nice. Either you evolve or you get wiped out. This is true in religions too. Either religions are recognize the changing environment and kind of promote a prescription that is suited to modern times, or they will be, youngsters will walk away from religion. They'll literally step away from it. This is what's happening in modern society. So this idea of a contextual aspect that you must incorporate when you are trying to practice religion is an important aspect to this. It allows us. So now let us look at a very beautiful question that comes, how to distinguish between good and bad. Very interesting. Because all religions struggle with that. And how do you define what is good, what is bad? What is, if it's a grayscale area, how do we define? The Hindu teaching is very precise on this point. It says the way you distinguish good and bad is as follows. It says anything that takes you back to your true nature, any activity you do, any aspiration you have that allows you to go back to your true nature is good. Anything that takes you away from your true nature is bad. Simple as that. You say, but what do you mean by that, Ms. Lakhani? Now you see, Dawkins would agree with that to a certain extent, but the only difference between Dawkins and Hinduism is this. Dawkins says your true nature is matter. Matter, material, Mr. Lakhani. There's nothing more to it than matter, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. So he's fixated saying going back to your nature, recognizing you are a material being and looking after your material needs. That's what human aspiration should be. But you see how society cracks up. When you focus at your attention on your material frame, you see a weird society. Society that's fixated on material thing. Oh, I must be healthy and I must have plastic surgery because my face is sagging now. See, they're fixated on the matter, on the material frame. And they really, you can say, cracks up big time. Because they're just fixated on the body. And this is, if you like, kind of lowering your expectation, not going from the animal to the human to the higher divine. It's saying, go back to the animal. You are just an animal. Focus on your animal needs. This becomes crass materialism. So the Hindu tradition says, no, your true nature is not matter. It is not your body. It is the spirit. The thing that is popping out to the body is what is your true nature. So any activity you do that allows you to link up with your true nature, or kind of in a way kind of allow you to link up with your true nature, is considered to be good. Any activity you do that takes you away from your true nature is considered to be bad. See how easy it is. And say, let me show you a practical example. Suppose I sit for meditation. I say it's good. Why? Because it allows me to think, sit down quietly and in a way contemplate on my true nature, the spirit. So it's good. Suppose I do philanthropic activity. I look after other people. Again, that is taking me back to my real nature as the spirit, because the same spirit that is looking out through these eyes is looking out through every eye. So when I look after other human beings or do philanthropic activity, that is called good because that is linking me up with my true nature as the thing that is linking all of humanity, spirit. So philanthropic activity, good. Suppose I say I want to go and kill people or murder people, that goes against my nature because I'm in a way killing myself, because the same thing here is there. So I'm going and killing that. So I'm going against my nature. So that's called bad. So every activity you do, think about it. So interesting way of trying analyzing our lives. Any activity that allows you to link up with your true nature as the spirit, Atman, is good. Any activity that makes you think you are just just an animal, you are just a body, is taking you away from your true nature. So that is called bad. Very interesting way of defining good and bad. See, no scripture doesn't say. It allows you to think, suppose you do an activity. Because I have not thought out of all the possibilities you might do or don't do. In your own lives, you can say, now, does this make me feel comfortable about my true nature, which is more than the body? Then that activity, whatever you do, suppose you're doing a certain profession, where you're doing genetic manipulation, the genes, is it good or bad? But you decide for, look, it doesn't say, there's a book in Hinduism says, look it up, this is what it is, good or bad. He said, think for yourself, my friend, think. Do you think this activity is taking you closer to your true nature, or is it damaging that? If it's taking you towards your nature, good for you. It is acceptable, morally acceptable. See how we define morality in Hinduism. It is very refreshing. It allows every individual to think for himself or herself and come to a decision whether the activity they do is morally good or bad. See how beautifully it's defined.